Yeah, hello my lovely fans. This is another beautiful day as I welcome you to Menalights TV. As we have started with transformation, today our topic is going to be based on enlargement and then similarities. Enlargement and similarities. Now when we talk about enlargement is a transformation in which a shape or an object is being magnified. That is to make the object larger or diminished, make it smaller by a scale factor. So when an object is magnified or make larger or diminished, make it smaller by a scale factor, we call this as what? An enlargement. So now we want to look at the types of enlargement that we have. Now when we look at this object, so first when you look at this one, here this is our object. Here this image is bigger than the object that we have here, and this one the image is smaller than the object, and this one the image and the object, they are the same. Now when you come to the types of enlargement, the first one is being what? Magnified. So when you look at this, here the image is bigger than the object. So this is what? A type of enlargement in which the shape or the object is what? Magnified or being what? Made larger. So in this case, we can say that the scale factor K is greater than 1. So when the scale factor is greater than 1, the image is what? Bigger than the object. So the scale factor here is greater than 1. So because of that, the image is what? Greater than the object. Now let's look at the second type of enlargement. So here, the image is what? Smaller than the object that you have. The image here is smaller than the object that you have. So here you can say that the scale factor K is less than 1. So if the scale factor is less than 1 or 1 is greater than the scale factor, the image is what? Always smaller than the object. Then we come to the third type of enlargement in which the image and the object are the same. So here we can say that the scale factor K is equal to 1. So if the scale factor is equal to 1, the object and then the image are the same. Let's go over again. If the scale factor is greater than 1, the object is bigger than the image is bigger than the object. Now if the scale factor is less than 1, the image is smaller than the object. And if the scale factor is equal to 1, the image and the object are having the same what? Size. Now, if the scale factor is negative, the image is formed at the opposite side of the object. Now, let's look at this. So when you look at this is what? The image, the objects here have been enlarged, so the image is bigger. So here the objects have been what? Diminished, so the image is what? Smaller. Here the image and the object, they are equal or they are the same. Look at the effect of the scale factor on the object given to get what? The image. So when you have the point A, which is x, y, and then we have the scale factor K, we have to find the image. So for us to find the image, we know that the image A1 is equal to the A times what? The K. So we use the scale factor to multiply the point. So the scale factor times the point will give you what? The point image. So you can say that our A1 is the same as KA. So the K, which is the scale factor, is multiplying the point. So from here you can say that if A is xy, so it means that this A1 is going to be K multiplying the xy. So the K is multiplying the xy. So if that's so, that means the K will multiply the x, we have the kx, and then the K will multiply y, we have the ky. P, which is 2, 3, and the scale factor 3, find the image P1. So we are given the point and then the scale factor. So we know that the point times the scale factor is the point image. So the points given is 2 and 3, and the scale factor is what? Is 3. So that is 3 multiplying 2 and 3. So that is the same as 3 times 2 will give us 6, and then 3 times 3 will give us 9. So that is our P image, or the point image is what? 6, 9, giving the scale factor as 3. Now we are going to look at how to find the scale factor. How do we find the scale factor? We are given the image and then the object. So we come to finding the scale factor. How do we find the scale factor? We know from the previous lesson that the point times the scale factor is equal to the point image. The point times the scale factor is equal to the point image, or the point times the scale factor is equal to the image. So it means that Kp is equal to P1. And this P1 is the image. And this P is the object. So for us to find K, so we have to make K the subject. So in making K the subject, you know that Kp is equal to Pi over Kp is equal to Pi. So divide by P or by P. So here the P will cancel the P here. That means our K is equal to P1 over P. So K is equal to P1 over P. Now the P1 is the image and then the P is the object. So you can say that scale factor K is equal to image over object. The image over the object will give us the scale factor. So we can also continue to say that the image distance divided by the object distance is the scale factor. So the image distance divided by the object distance is giving us what? The scale factor. So the scale factor is the same as what? The image distance divided by the object distance. Let's look at this question. The point P, which is 4, 3, is enlarged to P1 8, x. So first we have to find the scale factor. Then after that we find the value of x. Now when we look at this, we have our P, which is 4, 3. Then the image P1, which is 8, x. Then we have to find the scale factor. After finding the scale factor, then we find the value of this x. Now when you look at this, we have 4 here and then we have 8 here. So the point here is 4. The coordinates here for the x-axis here is 4. And the coordinates here for the x-axis in the image is 8. So here we can say that the K is giving us the image over object. So the image over the object. So when you look at this from the x-axis, the image distance is 8. So that is 8 here. Then the object distance is 4. So we have 4 here. So that becomes 8 divided by 4. And that will give us 2. So it means that our K, the scale factor, is equal to 2. So if K is equal to 2, so it means that the 2 times the 4 is giving us 8. So what will be the value of x? So we know that K, which is the image, the scale factor, is equal to the image. So here the image here is x over the object, which is 3. Then the K given us is what? Is 2. So 2 is equal to x over 2, x over 3. Because the scale factor here is what? Is 2. So now we have the image x divided by the object distance, which is 3, which is equal to what? The scale factor. So here we can cross multiply this over 1. So cross multiply. It means our x is equal to 2 times 3 will give us 6. So that means the image distance here for the y-axis, if we have the object as 3, then the image here is what? Is 6. When it is being what? Multiply or enlarged by the scale factor 2. Now we are going to look at some questions based on scale factor. So now let's look at this one. In the diagram below, rectangle AEFG. So the AEFG is an enlargement of rectangle ABCD. So if AB is equal to 5 centimeters, AE is equal to 15 centimeters, what is the scale factor of the enlargement? So from the question, the distance from A to B is given as 5 centimeters. Then the distance from A to E is 15 centimeters. So the distance from the A through B to E is 15. So if from here to here is 5 centimeters, that means from B to E is 10 centimeters. So in all, we are having from A to E, which is 15 centimeters as given in the question. So now, when you look at this, you realize that the AB is the object, the distance AB is the object. Then the distance from A to E is the image. So AE is the image, as you can see from the question, because this AEFG is the enlargement of the ABCD. So when we look at this, for us to find the scale factor, we know that the scale factor K is equal to image distance so the scale factor K is equal to the image distance divided by the object distance. So the image distance from the question is, that is the AE. So the AE over the object distance. So the object distance is the AB. So the AE is 15 centimeters. And then the AB is 5 centimeters. So we have the 5 centimeters here as well. So that means our K is equal to, so the centimeters will cancel. 5 will go into self 1 and go into 15 3 times. So that means our scale factor is 3 from this question that we have here. Now let's look at the second question. Let's come to the second question. In the diagram, K is an enlargement of J. So this is the K, it's an enlargement of this. So it means that when you start from here as the origin O, it means from here to this side, that is K. Then from the O to J, that is the image, the object here. Then from O to K, that is the image. So from the question, you have to calculate the scale factor, or to find the value of the scale factor. Then after that, you find the value of X. So when you look at it from here, the image distance here is from here to the end here. That is the image distance. So you can say that the image, that is the 3 meters plus 6 meters. That will give us 9 meters. That is the image distance. So from here all through to this place, that's what the image distance. And that is 6 plus 3. This 3 plus the 6 will give us 9 meters. Then the object, or the object distance, that is what? 3 meters. So the scale factor we know is the same as image over object. So the image over the object. So the image distance here is 9 meters divided by the object distance, which is 3 meters. So 9 divided by 3 will give us 3, which means our scale factor K is equal to 3. The scale factor there is what? Is 3. Now if the scale factor is 3, then what will enlarge, or if they use the scale factor to enlarge 1.5, what will be the value of X? So what we have to do is, we know that K is equal to the image over object. The scale factor is equal to the image over the object. So when you look at this, the scale factor here is 3. The image is the X here, and then the object is 1.5. So 1.5 meters. So when you cross multiply, our X is equal to 3, which is the scale factor, times the object distance. So 3 times the object distance, and the object distance is what? 1.5 meters. So that means our x is equal to, so 3 times 1.5 will give us 4.5 meters. So the image distance here, or the value of x here, is 4.5 meters. Now let's look at the third diagram. In the diagram, square P1, Q1, R1, X1. So P1, X1, R1, Q1 is an enlargement. So that is the image. It's an enlargement of square PQRX. So this P1, Q1, R1, X1 is an enlargement or the image of PQRX. So from the question, if the area of PQRX is 4 centimeters squared, and then the area of P1, Q1, R1, and then S1 is 9 centimeters squared. Find the scale factor. Now, before we can find the scale factor, what we have to do is what? We need to know the length of, or the distance, the image distance, and then the object distance of the diagram that we have here. Now, when we look at this, the first one, the area of this square PQRX is equal to 4 centimeters squared. So for us to find the length, we know that length square is the area. Length square is equal to the area. So here our length squared is equal to 4 centimeters squared. So for us to know the length, we need to find the root, the square root of both sides, which means our length here is 2 centimeters. Or our length is what? 2 centimeters. That is for the square PQRX. So the small one here, the length is what? 2 centimeters. Now let's go to the bigger one. The P1, Q1, R1, then X1 is having a square, is having an area of 9 centimeters square. So if 9 centimeters square is the area, what will be the length? So the length is the L squared, which is equal to the area. So L squared, which is equal to 9 centimeters squared. You find the square root of both sides. So there, our length is 3 centimeters as well. So the bigger one, we have 3 centimeters as the length. So now that we know the length of the small square and then the length of the bigger square, now let's find the scale factor. So the scale factor K is equal to, now let's use this distance. So image distance here is the P1, Q1. That is my image distance, P1, Q1. Then my object distance, I'll use P and Q. So P, Q. So our scale factor K is equal to, now the image distance P1, Q1 is 3 centimeters. And then the image distance of the object distance PQ, that is 2 centimeters. So K is equal to, so this will cancel. So K is equal to 3 over 2, or 2 will go into, or 2 will go into 3, 1 time remainder 1 over 2. So 1 whole number, 1 over 2. That becomes our scale factor. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Remember to subscribe to this channel, Menalights TV, for more updates. Menalights TV, when the sun rises. Thank you.